Help support Chris and Zach Attack by liking and sharing all of our content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all your latest video game news and updates.
What? The rubber faces. Okay, I've talked about this in our old videos where it's like Disney has like this fucking huge boner for
Okay, yeah, that. What did you think of General Tarkin? Because I thought he looked pretty decent for being a dead guy.
He looked fine, but I could tell that it was.
Yeah, you can tell that's
not him.
It's not him, obviously.
He's fucking dead.
Yeah.
He's a dead guy.
Yep.
But
But
fine
for obviously not being him.
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's
There's
fine.
a couple moments where he had a little bit of like rubber face, like Jeff Bridges in Tron. There was a couple scenes where he kind of looked a little wonky there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fine. I mean, the character, I'd have to rewatch A New Hope to see like if it was like a faithful representation of the character. I'm assuming it was. I mean, like the dude was pretty. Like fucking cut.
The guy who voiced him, he sounded pretty good too, and I think they used a couple cut lines from the movie.
Yeah,
because when he says "we need fire when ready,"
yeah,
that's
what they did with A Force Awakens. They used the guy who played Obi-Wan. They used stuff that he actually said when he was alive, and like they cut it to make it sound like he's actually saying these things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there was like one instance where it sounded like he said Ray, and so I think that's why they just named her Ray, because it sounded like he said Ray. Mm-hmm. So like, wow, we're gonna name her Ray because fucking Alec Guinness?
Yeah, Alec Guinness.
He says Ray in some random like cut that they had. It sounded like he said Ray, and we can use that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I like that they're doing that and like actually using these people's voices that they have. I thought he was fine. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like that. Like we were talking about earlier, I think I find the Empire stuff and the Empire characters way more interesting than any of the Rebels.
Yeah, what'd you think of his name? The character's name was Orson Krennic. Actor was Ben Mendelsohn.
Well, first of all, I love Ben Mendelsohn. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Anything he's in, he's great. I wish he would have actually like chewed the scenery a little bit more and kind of been a little bit more over the top, because I think he could have been a really memorable villain if he just went. If they would have just let him go just a little bit more with his like weird, because I mean he was like scheming, and this guy was like he was into stuff, and like he was groveling to Vader in that one scene, and he was like basically giving the middle finger to Tarkin. This guy was like hungry to be something, and he was like scheming, and he wanted power. I wish they just would have turned it up a notch and just been like, yeah, you know what, fucking go crazy on this role. But I mean, he was fine. He was serviceable.
Yeah.
I like the actor and the character. When I first heard about him playing that character, I was like, oh my goodness, yes, like he's perfect. He's such a good actor. Yeah. And then I watched it, I was like, I mean, the scenes where he's like being menacing, like especially like the ones with him and Mads Mikkelsen, Galen, when they're together, I mean, it's like, man, like the first scene is like he's with him at Galen's house, like talking to him. Yeah. They're talking, and he's just like, he's menacing. This dude is like, this guy's like evil. I liked it. And then the next one they're together is when he's with his team of scientists, and he's like, who did this? Who's responsible for this? And then no one steps up, and then Galen steps up, and then he's like, well, too bad. He fucking still kills all of his scientist buddies. I was like, well, how long have these like scientist buddies been working together? I mean, they've probably been together for a while. If he's going to jump in and try to save all of them, it's established that they must have some kind of friendship or camaraderie. If he's going to be like, no, it was me, take me instead of them, and he just fucking kills them instead, I was like, okay, man, yeah, this guy's a bad guy. Yeah. I just wish, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And the one thing I like about Star Wars is like the Sith guy. Well, I guess there's no like Sith in this movie. I mean, except for Vader.
Yeah.
But I love those villains, like the ones like the fucked up faces and like the ones with like machinery, like Vader's face. And I know like in like the video games they have like a lot of like the Sith and like the villains. They look like they got weird stuff, and they got like you look at like the Force Awakens with like what's the big headed guy?
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Yeah, like just fucking weird looking. He's got like scars and shit, and then like Kylo with like his helmet, like he just looks menacing. Mm-hmm. I wish they would have more things like that, more villains like that, because I love that. I love when they do shit like that, and they just kind of, I think they just kept it a little bit too grounded in like, I don't know, just trying to be like realistic Star Wars, not like fantastical way out there Star Wars, which is what I like about Star Wars.
So I was listening to a podcast about Star Trek, and I think Will Wheaton was on it. No, it was Chris Jericho's podcast, and Will Wheaton was guest starring. He was asking about Star Trek, and he said, I like Star Trek and Star Wars, but I like Star Trek a little bit more because it's grounded in science, whereas Star Wars is all fantasy.
Yes.
And so Star Wars needs to be more fantasy than Star Trek. Star Trek, Mass Effect, whatever, they're grounded, they have science, like, of this world in it.
Yes. I agree.
There's still some like ooh, ah thing, but there's always an explanation of science around it. Whereas Star Wars, it's just all ooh, ah. Like give it, like, just be that.
Yeah,
like the ooh,
that's the thing. I 100% agree. Star Wars works exponentially better when it's just not trying to explain its shit. It's not trying to break down every little detail of like, well, this guy can do this because of this, and then this, and then this. No, just fucking have it be. That's what it is. That's the way it works. Like, have these like crazy fucking bad guys because you can get away with it in Star Wars. You can have these characters. You can have them be way out there. There were like, okay, it's a Star Wars movie, and there is no aliens in it. There's no fucking aliens in this movie.
Yeah, the only real glimpse of aliens you get to see was when they were on that desert planet in the little city. But other than that, there was like nothing.
No aliens. There's nothing. Okay.
No.
We go back.
No, like alien characters you can interact with.
No alien. Okay, so we'll go back to Phantom Menace. Not a good movie, but one of the main characters, not a good character, Jar Jar Binks. He's a main character, but he is an alien. Okay. Yeah. He's not good, but then you go back to Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a great character, and he is an alien.
Yep.
I feel like they needed like some kind of alien character in this.
Empire Strikes Back. You got Yoda. He becomes a main character.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say Return of the Jedi had Jabba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. They didn't do aliens in this movie.
The Force Awakens had the
glasses.
I forget her name.
Yeah. Well, and then they even had like, fucking Chewbacca was in the Force Awakens. Yeah. Chewbacca, I mean, like the one with like, they didn't use any. Okay, you have this huge crop of aliens that you can use, and you can throw them as characters. You can have them be supporting characters. You can use them, and they didn't use aliens for anything. There was no aliens in this movie. They're acting like humans are the only race.
Maz Kanata was her name. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. This movie's acting like that humans are like the only thing on like the galaxy. Like, there's no alien.
The Empire is also a very pro-human thing. They
they're like super racist.
Yeah, they're like super racist. They don't really go out of their way to accept aliens in their race.
But even because we're on the Rebel base a couple times in this movie, and even on the Rebel base, you don't really see a whole lot of aliens, from what I recall. Like when they're having their little round table of like all the different like people like talking about what the rebels should do, I think only one of them was alien.
That was like I don't even know that character has a name.
It was like the Admiral Akbar, whatever race he is.
Oh,
it was like
what the hell is that? Yeah.
I'm really testing your Star Wars knowledge here.
You are right now, and I'm not doing very good.
It's all right. But I mean, he was the only alien. I mean, it's like you don't have any aliens just like in the background.
He's a Mon Calamari.
Yes. That was the only alien like character that they focused on because he appeared at the rebel base and then he went and he started attacking the shield as it came up.
In fact,
and
I think it was Admiral Akbar that was there.
Well, it was like some blue guy. He was little. I mean, Akbar might have been a supporting character, but it was like a blue. He was smaller too. He was a little guy.
Never mind then.
Yeah, he was the only alien. I was like, okay. Yes. Oh, okay. This actually, okay. Woo, bam! Head explosion. This touches on what I did not like about the movie, is it tried to be too grounded in let's be realistic when Star Wars does not work well as being realistic. I want to see aliens. I want to see the fucking Force. I want to see lightsabers. I want to see people fighting and shit because that's what interests me, and that's what I like about Star Wars, and that's what I gravitate towards Star Wars.
Well, at the same time, like, these Star Wars one-off stories, like, I get it. You know, you want to see the lightsabers, you want to see the aliens and all that stuff. They can't always have the lightsabers in there though, because like not every story is going to be about a Jedi. They're, you know, like next year we got the Han Solo movie coming out. Definitely no Jedi coming out for that one.
But if they do that, I don't want them to talk about the Force. I don't want them to talk about the Empire. Well, I mean, they talk about the Empire. I don't want them to talk. Well, they're going to
have to talk about the Empire.
Yeah.
They're pretty.
I don't want them to talk about like, because okay, I mean, just think. Okay, say you're living in the Star Wars universe. You're just some dude on a planet. What is your day-to-day shit? What is it? Like, your day-to-day shit is just like going to your fucking job or being like a farmer in the desert or some shit. I mean, you're not thinking about the Empire every day. I mean, they're not going to be at your planet every single day.
Yeah.
That's not possible. They're not big enough to be at every planet every day. They might do like random checks like they did on Tatooine. They're not on Tatooine every fucking day. They're just there because they had to be there.
Yeah, Tatooine's on the very outer skirts of the galaxy, so...
Yes. So, like, say you're living on Tatooine, your day-to-day, like... Say you're like a smuggler, like Han Solo, like you're smuggling shit. Okay, talk about the Empire. Talk about like smuggling stuff and like bounty hunters and all that. Don't talk about the Force. You don't believe in the Force. Why would you talk about the Force?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's like this movie tried to have its cake and eat it too, where it's like, we're going to have the super realistic stuff. We're going to have the shootouts. We're going to have the space battles. We're going to have the planet space type battles. It's going to be super realistic, but then we're going to have the random blind guy who can use the Force. But you can't have it both ways because you're either realistic or you're going to do this crazy fantasy stuff. You can't do it both because it doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Because even like A New Hope, the action, it revolves around the Force. When Luke is like, yeah, they have the space battles, but I mean, even when Luke is like in the space battle, he's using the Force to help him.
Yeah, and I mean the thing with the original trilogy is it wasn't grounded on like realism from that we know of. It was just pure fantasy.
Yes, like right when space battles are fucking out there because obviously we don't have space battles.
Yeah,
the Force is out there because the Force isn't a real thing.
Yeah.
I think what happened is when they started bringing the X-wings and like the ships, they started bringing them to the planets. That's where I think I kind of lost it because it's like I'm okay with like the AT-ATs and the AT-STs or whatever, the walkers and all of that stuff. Like the X-Wings are fine when they're fighting like the big things like that, but when you have like the X-Wings and the TIE fighters and they're all fighting like on a planet and it's just like stuck on a planet, that's where I kind of get lost there. I kind of check out. I was starting to fall asleep.
They have. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but
no, it's not bad. But for me personally,
it was just too much. Like maybe it was because it was just too much background. Too much going on in the background? Like, you kind of want to know what's going on?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's like they're throwing, like, all these characters, like, at me. Well, like, these people...
Sorry, at the same time, it's a big war. Like, there's a huge battle going on. They're trying to get the Death Star plans off the planet. Trying to destroy that force field up on top. Yeah. And so I mean, if I remember correctly, the reason that the X-wings got through that shield or went through the shield was to provide support for the people that were on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's why they were down there.
Because they're like, oh crap, they like went to the planet. Like, we need to get there, and then they like got there real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why there was a whole bunch of stuff going around.
Yeah.
Going around like that. So I mean, at the same time, you told me you fell asleep a little bit.
I fell asleep.
So you
and that last the last big battle, I started falling asleep because I think it was just maybe it was just too late at night. It was just too much for me because, I mean, they started it's like, well, here's like the squadron of X-wings. It's like, here's all these guys right away, and it's like, well, they're gonna fucking die. I know they're gonna die. Like they introduce these, like, I know they're gonna die. And it's like, well, all these people on the planet. Well, it's like they're trapped on the planet. Like, I know they're gonna die. So it's like I kind of just like almost checked out because I'm like, well, all these people are gonna die. Yeah, I think that was like another big problem I had with it. It suffered from the prequel-itis, where it's like, I know what's going to happen. I know how it's going to end. I fucking knew how it began. I know how it begins. I know how it ends. It's like, I think they just needed a better reason to tell the story. And the reason that they gave wasn't that compelling to me personally. I didn't feel like it was that compelling.
Yeah.
I mean, because we were even talking.
There's nothing really to latch onto.
No.
For it, because these characters, they're kind of throwaway characters. There's nothing memorable about them.
They were created for Rogue One, and you can tell that they were created for Rogue One.
Exactly. Yeah, and the only thing that we really thought, I remember when I was watching the movie, I had the same feeling, okay, so what's the deal with these characters? Why are these characters so good? I have a feeling they're going to die at the end. I didn't know they were going to. I thought maybe there might be a chance they survive. No, they all die. But the things that got me smiling, the things that got me like, oh my god, hey look, it was the blatant use of the cameos. So they had...
That was me too!
Yeah.
Fuck, that was me too! I saw C-3PO and R2, and I was like, wow. I fucking said to myself, I was like, I want to know what they're doing. I care about the 2-second cameos of C-3PO and R2 more than I care about any of the characters introduced to Rogue One. Because I'm like, well, what happens with them? I cared more about them in the 2 seconds they gave me.
Yeah. So you remember in A New Hope, in the bar scene, the guy that gets his hand cut off? Remember that?
Yes!
Those
they were
there. Make an appearance too.
Yeah, and then he bumps into her. He's like, whoa, just calm down, man. It's okay, it's okay. Yes. I was like...
so that happens.
Yes.
Apparently they escaped that destruction. But...
Yeah, okay. That's another thing. They throw these cameos kind of without thought, because it's like, to me, it looked like everyone who was on that city was dead, but apparently not.
Yeah, apparently not. I think some people made it out, but whatever. But, and then... during the X-Wing fight, they got two of the guys. They got footage from A New Hope of the the Red Leader, and I think one other guy, the Yellow Leader.
Okay.
And they got footage from them, from the original movie, and they put it in there. There was one scene where where the Red Leader was like, "Red 5, get the hell out of there!" And then because Red 5 was Luke Skywalker in the first one, and then you see this other guy whose call sign's Red 5, and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't shake it!" And he blows up, and it's like, "Oh, so that's how Luke got Red 5." Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
That might have been one of the parts he fell asleep on.
Ooh, that went over my head. That's fucking too deep for me.
Yeah. So there was countless cameos. I was pretty stoked about Grand Moff Tarkin, honestly.
Yes, I think that also highlights one of the problems is when we care about the cameos and the characters who are in the older Star Wars movies more than any of the new characters introduced. And these cameo characters are only in the movie for a short amount of time, and we care about them more the short amount of time that they're in it than we do about these characters that have been in the movie the whole time.
Yeah. And then
one
obviously Darth Vader, he was pretty cool, especially at the end.
Yes, at the end he was cool. Mm-hmm. I don't think... Did I talk about Darth Vader yet? I don't think I did.
No, we haven't talked about Darth Vader yet.
Okay. Darth Vader is like the fucking OG bad fucking ass motherfucker coming taking names, choking bitches out. Darth fucking Vader.
Yep.
Memorable. One of the most memorable villains of all time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How do they show him the first time he's revealed in Rogue One? What is he doing?
He's in a tank, and in canon it's called a Bacta tank because he's got severe wounds. A Bacta tank is used to heal.
He's taking fucking bath.
He's taking a bath. He's naked. He's vulnerable.
He's naked. They show Darth Vader naked taking a bath. That's what they've reduced Darth Vader to, is a fucking naked guy taking a bath. He's not badass. He's not cool. He's naked in the bath. Yeah. Like, how are you gonna fucking do Darth Vader like that? In the bath. That dude is taking a bath. Come on.
Like, I was talking to you about it earlier too. It was because I think they wanted to, I don't know what the hell they were wanting to do, but when you first saw him, you were kind of immediately taken back to episode 3 when he's on the Mustafar and he's on fire. His legs and his arms are gone,
but we've already wrapped that up. Like, if you've seen episode 3, you know that he becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Like, he gets the suit. You know that he becomes Darth Vader. You don't need to reestablish that he is Darth Vader. You just can introduce Darth Vader.
It was just a visual thing that I think they thought would be cool.
But I mean, like, the one visual, I can't remember what movie it's from, the one where he's like sitting in the chair and like you see the helmet like go onto his head.
Back. That was an Empire.
That is so much more effective at showing that he's scarred and he has wounds, but he's still a fucking badass. Because it doesn't show him fucking naked in the bath. It shows him like he's like sitting down and like, man, like this guy's like fucked up, but he's like still got like a badass helmet on, breathing apparatus, and like he's still getting up and moving around. Like, wow, this guy's fucking badass.
Yeah.
They show him in the bath.
In the bath.
And then like the next scene.
Get to the next scene, yeah.
The next scene, he's like, he appears and like the door goes up and you see his silhouette. It's like, wow, oh, Darth Vader. Why did they just lead with that? Darth Vader at this point in time is so memorable. You could have just introduced him like that. The door goes up, his silhouette appears. Darth Vader. That is Darth Vader. We know that's Darth Vader. We know who Darth Vader is. There he is. Wow, that's intimidating.
Yeah.
That is an intimidating intro that is effective at introducing Darth Vader. Him in the bath is not effective at introducing Darth Vader. It shows him as a weak character. That is a weak character introduction because it shows him in a point of vulnerability, and he's vulnerable. He's naked in the bath. Okay. The door going up and him like, I was like, damn, like, okay, Darth Vader's gonna fuck shit up, but then they don't do anything with it. The little interaction he had with I should have wrote his name down. Ben Mendelsohn's character.
Oh, I forgot it. I closed it.
Sorry. Damn it. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
We got this. Don't worry.
Does it start with an O? I feel like it starts with an O.
Doesn't start with an O. I'm pretty sure. It might. Oh, it is.
What is it?
Orson Krennic.
Orson.
Orson. Last name.
So when he
Ennick.
So when Vader and Orson are talking, I just felt like it was like an excuse to show Darth Vader earlier in the movie because it just didn't. Oh, go ahead.
How much cooler would it have been if they didn't show Vader at all during the movie, and then he shows up at the end doing what he does? How much cooler would it have been? Holy shit.
1,000% cooler, because it would have been like everyone would have been watching this movie in anticipation of Darth Vader.
Yeah,
they would have been like, "Oh, is he coming? Is he showing up? Is he showing up? Is he going to be here?" I
guarantee. I know the theater I was in would have erupted. Yeah. Like, holy shit, that would have been cool.
Would have been like, holy fuck! Like, are you fucking kidding me? With that fucking fight scene, if that's all you got of Darth Vader, it would have been like fucking movie fucking history right there.
Yeah,
how to make Darth Vader even more badass is that fucking scene alone, just existing in this movie. Like, holy shit!
It would have been so cool. Like,
much better.
Oh my god.
Instead, we get Bathtub Vader talking to Orson, which is, in the sum of things, that scene didn't need to exist. The scene with Vader and Orson did not need to exist because Orson's motivation is still the same. Darth Vader in that scene, he looked off. Like the suit looked. It looked okay. Honestly, watching it, I was like, "This looks like a guy in a Darth Vader suit." It didn't look like Darth Vader.
The thing is he? I think the guy playing him had a much bigger build than the original Darth Vader.
Okay.
I think he had
because I mean, like,
much bigger build than he did.
Yeah, because like Darth Vader is supposed to be like 6'5". He's supposed to be like pretty intimidating. He's big. But yeah, he just looked like a guy in a Darth Vader Halloween costume almost. Like the helmet just looked cheap. I'm like, I feel like I could buy that helmet right now, that same helmet. Because when you see Darth Vader in like Empire, like he looks fucking fantastic. He looks like intimidating. He's scary.
In Empire?
Yes.
Okay. So I
feel like he looked different.
Yeah, it was different because there was a lot more cloth texture to it in New Hope. So it almost looked like he was wearing robes, but then he had the mechanical features kind of sticking out of the robes. And that's kind of what they were trying. Honestly, they looked like bathrobes.
They do. It looked like bathrobes and like oven mitts.
He just gets out of the bath, like, oh my god, I finally get time to relax out of my suit. Just give me my bathrobes. Come on.
Yeah.
He just spends the entire next movie just searching for the Death Star plans in his bathrobes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, the suit just looked... I mean, obviously, because between A New Hope and Empire, their budget got bumped up so they could spend more on costumes and all that.
Yep,
so that's why he looks better, because, well, they have a bigger budget.
Yeah.
But there was no reason for... Unless just purely for keeping it consistent, they made him look this way so he would look the same in A New Hope. So it would, but it just... If you're going to do that... Don't have him be in a scene like this. Have him be in a scene where he's killing people and kicking ass.
Yeah,
because
just introduce him in the last scene. That'd be fine. Wouldn't really be able to tell. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, because it's like, well, everyone who's seeing this movie knows who Darth Vader is.
Yeah.
Everyone even if you've never seen a Star Wars movie, you fucking know who Darth Vader is. He's that memorable. So you don't need to have like this crappy introduction to Darth Vader, this scene that doesn't need to exist, that really doesn't go anywhere. And then he fucking makes a pun, because he's choking him, and then he's
makes
like
a dad joke.
he makes a fucking dad joke. Yeah, he's choking Orson, and then he stops and he's like, "Careful not to choke on your aspirations." A fucking joke from Darth Vader. Darth Vader's not a fucking one to joke. He doesn't tell fucking jokes.
No.
Where has it been established that Darth Vader is a fucking joke teller? Nowhere. He doesn't joke around when he's on the Death Star. He doesn't joke around.
Not Darth Vader, but Anakin Skywalker.
Yes, sure, but he's not Anakin anymore. He's Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Still
exactly. It's a complete character shift.
Yeah. He's still brainwashed into being Darth Vader. He's still under the Emperor's control. He's under the Emperor's fucking thumb, being pushed down. He's Darth fucking Vader. He's not Anakin. He doesn't fucking joke around. Yeah. He's not one to joke. You've never seen Darth Vader crack a fucking joke. And then they have him crack a fucking joke in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, the only time we kind of see him, like, get a little cocky, Vader, is when he's
talking with Princess Leia.
Well, no, he's fighting Luke in Empire Strikes Back. He pushes him into the thing, and he says, "All too easy," and he flips the switch. Remember? That's kind of like the only time we ever saw him make a quip.
Yeah, I guess. But at the
same time, that felt in the setting that felt fine.
Yeah.
In this, not so much.
It feels like a stupid fucking dad joke, like you said. Yeah, it feels forced. It feels stupid. There's a lot of these. I've actually noticed a lot of. There's a couple that in this movie, like the forced jokes.
Yeah.
Forced jokes. No, forced jokes, not forced jokes. There are a lot of forced jokes in this movie, though. The blind Jedi, he's fighting all the stormtroopers, and he whacks a stormtrooper in the foot, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, did that hurt your foot?" What?
Wouldn't even try with that one.
Why would you ask that in the middle of a fight? Oh, sorry, did that hurt your foot? And then this one. And then this one right here. Like, those are two. I'm pretty sure there's others, but this is like two that are just like so out of place, so stupid, so forced. That was like, this did not need to happen. That just reminded me. What are the stormtroopers' helmets made out of? Like cardboard? They go down so easy in this movie.
Well, they go down easy in all the movies, don't they?
I think, but the dude has a stick. It's not like a lightsaber. It's not like a blade. It's a stick that they're wearing helmets. These helmets have to at least stop some kind of damage.
They're made of
whacking them in the head.
They're old football player helmets, duh. They get concussed easy. Helmet to helmet contact.
True, yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's like they go down so easy in this movie. Like stormtroopers are just nothing in this movie. I mean, I guess they've always been nothing, but at least they've been getting whacked by lightsabers and blasters, not a fucking wooden stick.
If the treatment of the stormtroopers in this movie upsets you, don't watch Star Wars Rebels because they're fucking comical in Rebels. They're literally the comic relief in Rebels. But it's a kid's show, so it's gotta be. But
yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier, like we kind of felt like Rogue One was a missed opportunity.
It was.
I think we both agree it was a missed opportunity. We felt. Again, the characters were pretty weak. The story could have been reconfigured to actually have a little bit more weight to it. Like, it didn't feel like there was any weight to this. Yeah, we know how it's going to end, but I want to feel like it might not happen. Like, oh, maybe it doesn't happen. I know it's going to happen, but maybe I want to feel like maybe it won't happen.
Yeah.
I want that feeling. I never had that feeling.
Yeah. Now, I was... Like I said, when I first watched it, I was like, okay, I feel like they're all gonna die, but maybe they won't. Like I had a little bit of a feeling maybe they won't, but then as the story continued, I was like, nah, they're gonna die.